Good afternoon. I'm going to speak in English. I'm sorry, but my Hungarian is very, very basic. I hear this is a very big event, and I see a lot of delegates, actually. I don't see too much now, but I hear there are lots of delegates from governmental side, from NRA, from the industry associations, and so on. So this is a really great opportunity to get together and discuss the most important themes of digital agenda for Hungary. Digitalization is a big buzzword today, and to put it a bit in the context, I was watching this morning the American election outcome, and there was one political commentator that assumed that Trump's success was a lot based on the fact that he understood how the new social media works. And the fact that he comes from, or he came from, reality shows, and the fact that his team managed to understand, again, how to deliver impactful, strong, memorable messages through social media made a big difference. So digitalization is a big buzzword, but depending on the angle we're looking from, has a lot of applications, a lot of development, and that's what I'm going to talk about in not more than 10 minutes. I know that we are running a bit late, so I'm going to keep it short and relevant. How to be at the forefront of digitalization? It's a very ambitious, but I think realistic title from our side. We look at ourselves as an enabler of digital development. And when I'm thinking digital development, I'm thinking economic development. There are many studies, including our own, that show the impact that broadband penetration has on GDP. And this is a number that we came up with several years ago. We believe that every 10% improve in broadband penetration brings about 1.5% increase in GDP. That's a very clear link between the two. Because digitalization and what we're doing doesn't have only one type of impact in the economy. It has an impact of a catalyzer to many other industries, allowing for innovation in many, many fields. We have in Hungary going on a big network expansion program. We've been communicated sparsely until now on it. We're going to be more active in promoting what we're doing. We're, in this moment, ready for the gigabit society. We have, in more than 90% of our network, 500 meg speeds available. And I think we can look at ourselves as one of the most important stakeholders in terms of digitalization, in terms of pushing the digital agenda in people's, companies' life every day. In order to achieve that, we need definitely a better dialogue. And probably we need all the parties involved, again, the government, the associations, the industry, coming together, the regulator, coming together and thinking how can we accelerate and how can we simplify the regulatory environment, or if not simplifying it, adapting it to today's and tomorrow's needs. We need to think on how can we phase out some of the sectorial taxes to simplify, for example, as well the authorization process for building out new infrastructure. We are currently a very big investor in Hungary. We invested already more than 700 million euro in this country, and we plan to keep investing. We can assume that by 2020, we'll be talking of about more than 1 billion euro investment in Hungary. We currently cover more than 1.7 million homes, and we are growing very fast our coverage at a rate at about 100,000 homes a year, which is roughly 300,000 people. We're growing that through new build and upgrading our current infrastructure. We currently announced as well that we're going to invest significantly in upgrading infrastructure in the numbering area 29, which we call Monor. We currently reach about 300 settlements in Hungary alone, and we plan to extend that number within the next years. I think recently EU showed and shared a vision actually of what gigabit society means, and obviously set some objectives to 2025. And there is already some concern about the speed with which European Union is moving towards that goal. Because we're lagging behind, as we heard today several times, we're lagging behind as a continent compared to probably United States and even parts of Asia. And I think European Commission overall encourages definitely investment in high-speed connectivity, right? And they were just illustrating what this high-speed connectivity would mean in people's life in 2025. Right? And I made a comparison with some of the applications. And you can see on the chart the time today, it takes today for a CT scan for the legacy typical networks of 20 meg. And what would it take if this speed was 400 meg per second? Right, so you see all these type of improvements. The good news is that we're currently covering, again, in Hungary, more than 90% of our footprint with 500 meg speed. So we can say we are gigabit ready right now in Hungary. And if I look at the average speed, which is experienced today by the regular consumer, regular customer in Hungary, we are providing 8 times that speed in our footprint, which is absolutely significant. And we keep investing in these speeds, in the network, in the technology, because if I look back 5 years ago, we're covering 93% of the footprint with not more than 120 meg. Now, a few years later, we improved that by 4 times. We can only imagine what's going to come in the next 5 to 10 years. Right, I'm coming to an end. We are currently the biggest cable international company in the world. And I think our regional and global networks, infrastructure, innovation are investments in the future. Not only that we contribute through the availability of our high-speed infrastructure to the economy, but we provide, again, through our innovations, through our applications, we provide a lot of extra value in customers' life, right? In their entertainment, in their connectivity, in the way they consume media today. We have a lot of fantastic applications that allow for the best Wi-Fi experience in home and out of home. We have a lot of fantastic applications that allow for the best entertainment experience overall. And this is how we come to enhance people's life. It's important we're keeping this pace of investment. We are here to stay. We are really a great company making good progress in Hungary. We're making investment, and we're going to speak much more in the future about that. And we are here to fulfill the vision of not only being, in the end, or creating an Internet of Things, but creating an Internet of Humans. Thank you very much, and hope to see you next time in one of a similar event. Thank you.